Welcome to Quick Hits, presented by Grow My Cleaning Company. Everything you need to know to grow your cleaning company.
Another podcast I do, or I did, that was where I had the opportunity to interview a guy who was in a Thai prison. He was an American guy, was dealing drugs internationally, and went to prison in Thailand. They caught him, and he was there for like a 4 lifetime sentence or something like that. The dude was never going to get out. And the prisons there are basically 4 walls and a concrete. That's it. Like not even a building. They just wander around, and you have to have people bring you food. If you eat the food they give you, you'll die. It's not enough to sustain you. It's really a miserable, miserable place. And he gave me such a good lesson. That was, a year or two ago, and I still remember it. He talked about really focusing, and I know this is a Stephen Covey principle, but the way he said it in his circumstance was awesome. He said, the sphere of things I could control was very small. I really had almost no control, certainly less control than you or I or pretty much anyone we're going to run into in our day. But the sphere of things I could influence, I focused on that. And even though it wasn't big, that's all I focused on. And I learned how to speak English, and I learned how to speak Thai, and I literally had to send. This was like, I think he was in prison at this time in the early 2000s, so they didn't have Rosetta Stone in the prison. So he had to send away for things from his mom, would literally send him books. Like, you know how when you're a kid, you do cursive and you'd write, there'd be the letters on top and you'd copy them. He had that for Thai, and he was sitting in the middle of the prison yard learning Thai by himself, and all the other inmates would come and make fun of him and give him a hard time. And he said, "That's what I could influence. That was my sphere of what I could not control but influence." And he learned the language, and that's why he got out of bed every morning. And there's a whole long story behind it, but he actually got out of prison based on his ability to speak Thai, but be an American, because all the Thai prisoners and everyone wanted to know about America, what it was like, and what the opportunity was, but no one spoke their language. So he spoke their language, and he said at the end of his term, he was literally allowed to move around the prison almost like a guard. He just had almost total freedom. So he focused on what he could influence, and that really expanded. So that said, let's take that way out of the 30,000-foot view down to your company.
For more free resources, blogs, training, and awesomeness, go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com and grow your cleaning company today.